And today's video we're gonna talk about Thailand. So if you're planning to go there, if you want to know about things to do, places to go eat, the nightlife, and most importantly, how much money should you bring or how many days should you stay. So those are gonna be the topics for this video, and without further ado, let's dive into the video. Hey, what is going on, YouTube family, and welcome back to a new video. My name is Antonio for the ones that don't know me, and I do travel in videos like these, helping you save time and money. So the reason for me making this video is because I want to show you the trajectory that I took when I went to Thailand. So this is gonna be the second video that I made about a complete playlist that pretty much talks about everything about Thailand. So the previous video to this one, it talks about everything about Bangkok and the things to do, the currency, the language, the flights, how can you get transportation in there so you can actually not get ripped off, and like a lot of valuable information. So at the end of this video, make sure to check the previous video, which is going to be video number 1, that talks everything about it. So this is going to be the second step that we took. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about the islands. So as you can see right now, we're going to go to the second stop of our trip. So we started in Bangkok and we went to the islands. So if you're going to go to the islands, there's going to be a lot of things that you should know in terms of transportation. So I'm going to dive a little bit more into that information later, but first of all, I want to share how much did we pay for our flights and like the prices, anything that you need to know about that. So a flight from Bangkok all the way to the islands, depending on which island that you're gonna go. Personally speaking, we went to Krabi Airport. So if you're gonna go to the Krabi Airport, you're gonna be expecting to pay a price between $30, $50, $60 depending on the season, depending on the demand, obviously. But at the moment when we booked the tickets, we only paid $30 for the whole flight, included everything related to luggage. But if you wanted to bring like a big bag, like a 40 pounds, 50 pounds heavy, then you needed to pay an extra for that. So in this case, I brought my bag that was over 40 pounds, so we needed to pay an additional price, which we paid like around $30 more. So even though the flight was $30 from Bangkok to the Krabi Airport, which is going to be in the islands, and we added the extra price for the bags, and that was an extra like $30 more. So that's basically like $60 that we had to pay in the airport. And some of the tips that I can give you in turn, if you actually want to avoid paying those $30, is pretty much try to bring a backpack that is gonna fit all your clothes, all your belongings, so you don't have to go through the same process that I went, that I had to pay an extra fee just because I had something really heavy. So it depends. If you don't have any option to actually avoid this, I think the flights are pretty cheap, because the length of the flight was around like 1 hour and a half, and I think for the value of $60 only, I think it was pretty affordable. And some of the things that I actually experienced on the airport when getting the airplane ticket, so there's gonna be 2 ways that you can actually book your flights. It's gonna be one, you can actually go onto the websites, and one of the websites that I like using because you get some really cheap prices is going to be a skyscanner.com, which they give you some really affordable prices. That's where I actually booked my flight. But there's going to be another way that you can actually book your flight, and that's if you're going to go to the airport and you can actually book the flight there if you decide to do it. And sometimes it's actually good and sometimes it's bad. The reason why I'm saying that is because when you're going to book it there, you can actually avoid some charges into like the luggage, because they're gonna tell you how much can you bring in terms of pounds. So they're gonna give you more details into that versus going online. They don't give you all these details, and you might be surprised once you get to the airport that you have to pay an extra $30 because maybe you're going over like 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. So those are gonna be some of the things that you need to take in consideration. Also, if you book the flight online and you paid already, and then you're gonna go to get your boarding pass in the airport, I found something really interesting about the airlines is that when you need to check a bag and you gotta pay for that, usually they don't charge you everything in the same spot. Then you need to go to a different sales counter that they're gonna charge you for the bag, and that's gonna be basically the way that you can pay for the bag. Usually in the United States, in New York, once you go to get your boarding pass and you're gonna check in your bag, pretty much the whole process is gonna be right there and there. That's something that I found interesting because while traveling to different countries, I never seen this type of process that you get your boarding pass in one place and then you go to another location far from where you're actually getting your boarding passes to actually pay for the luggage. So that was really interesting. And once getting to the Krabi airport, now let's talk a little bit more about transportation. So depending of which island do you want to go, like I said, if you want to follow my trajectory, I'm gonna tell you the prices that we pay in terms of transportation from going to Krabi all the way to Koh Lanta. Once we arrived to the Krabi airport, our first destination was gonna be to go to Koh Lanta. If for the ones that don't know what Koh means, is basically just means island. So the real name, in case I want to translate it to English, will be the island Lanta. It's Koh Lanta. It's pretty much the same thing. So once we arrive to the airport, there's gonna be several ways that you can actually go to the islands. I'm gonna explain the process a little bit more in detail because it might save you some money in case that you want to do it. So once we left the airport, right there and there, you're gonna be able to find like services, like cab services that are gonna take you to your desired destination. And the price that that some people were gonna charge us, it was around like 1,800 baht. And if you translate that to dollars, it's pretty much like around more or less, I would say like $40-50 that you gotta pay in terms of in case that you want to go from the Krabi airport all the way to Koh Lanta. That's gonna be an easy way and fast way. So there's gonna be two different ways. So you can actually get off your plane, and right there inside of the airport, they're gonna offer services to go to different islands. The one that were gonna charge us more money, it was basically kind of like a private service that pretty much will take you and somebody else to the desired destination, whether you're going to Koh Lanta, to Koh Phi Phi, or to different islands. We decided to kind of like look for cheaper ways to actually go to our destination, and so we went out of the airport and we found this lady that was selling tickets to actually grab the bus all the way to drop off destination, and the agency working with the bus will gather a lot of people that will go either to Koh Lanta, Koh Phi Phi, or to different locations. So they charge us, I believe it was 1,200 baht. Two of us, which basically we were thinking that we were gonna save some money, but even though we saved some money, they actually took a lot longer to drive us to our desired destination. And I think it depends. So there's gonna be the two different ways that you can go to the islands. One is gonna be privately. You can actually rented. You're gonna pay a little bit more than the regular public services, but I feel it's gonna save you a lot of time, first of all. Or you can actually go to the other location, to the other way that I was taking to go to the islands, which is the public service. You go grab the ticket, they'll send you to the bus, they will send you to a drop-off destination, and from the drop-off destination they will take another kind of like microbus, and they will send you to a ferry. So make sure to kind of like analyze, what do you want? Do you want to save money or do you want to save time? If you want to save money, basically you can take the second option. If you want to save time, you can take the first option. So the only way to get to the islands is going to be via ferry. And make sure that when you are planning to go to the islands, make sure to see and consult the hours that the ferries are working, because they don't leave every like 30 minutes or 1 hour. You're going to have the time zones in case that you want to come here. Make sure that you're going to check them. The last one is going to leave around 5 p.m. if you want to come from Krabi to Koh Lanta. So make sure to know those hours, and it's gonna take us between 2 hours to get there. They actually have a certain hour that they will gather all the people in one boat, and they will go to the desired island. In this case, we went to Koh Lanta, like I mentioned. So once you get to Koh Lanta, there's gonna be different ways that you can get transportation. And the first one we talked about, which was gonna be a ferry, and you're gonna use the ferry if you wanna travel from island to island, in case that you wanna go island hopping. And the ferry is not that expensive. You can actually get a ferry for as low as like $6-9, which is equals to 300 baht. And you want to know more about the currency, I will definitely encourage you to go and watch the video number 1, because you're gonna understand a little bit about the currency, how to actually save some money whenever you're gonna exchange some money, some Thai money, from US dollars to Thai money. So that video is going to help you a lot. So the first one is going to be the ferry. The second one is going to be a tuk-tuk. Once you're going to go to the islands, some of the islands are going to offer tuk-tuks. Basically, for the ones that don't know, it's a tuk-tuk. It's kind of like a really traditional way to getting around. It's a motorcycle, and next to the motorcycle is attached to like a small carousel that you can actually get the passengers in there. It's definitely a fun ride, I have to say. The rides are somehow like cheap. I would say if you're gonna get around in Koh Lanta, which this is gonna be mainly in Koh Lanta, from one location to another location that might take you between 10 to 15 minutes, you might be expecting to pay between $3 to $6. So make sure to memorize these numbers, because it's gonna help you a lot, so you can actually calculate. So you can say, okay, take me from this location to the other location, and ask them how much are you gonna charge me. If you know the desired destination is gonna be like around 6 to 10 minutes, now you know how much you're going to be paying. Personally, we didn't use that much of the tuk-tuk, because Koh Lanta and the place that we actually stayed, it was pretty much located on the beach. So the transportation, it was pretty much via foot. We didn't have to use that much of like tuk-tuks or any other sort of transportation. So in Koh Lanta, you can actually also rent a scooter for as low as 300 baht a day. So basically it's equals to like $9 to $10 daily, and I have to say that it's pretty affordable. But you need to have some heads up, because they're gonna ask you every time that you want to rent a scooter, they're gonna ask you either to leave a deposit of 2,000 baht, which is equivalent to like $60, or you can actually leave your passport. My girlfriend and I actually always left like the 2,000 baht, because you don't want to lose your passport. You don't want to like get your passport stolen, and not like any of that happened to us, but we just wanted to be a little bit of caution with that. So I think that that's going to be some ways of transportation. And the next one is going to be a boat. So once you're going to go to the islands, depending on which island you're going to go, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more, because the boats that were kind of like a taxi service to travel from one place to another place. But in Koh Lanta, that's not the case, because they don't offer boats to get you from one location to the next location. That's gonna be in different islands like Koh Phi Phi, but like I told you, I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more into that later on, so stay tuned for that information. Right now we're gonna talk about where should you stay. There's gonna be many locations that you can stay in Koh Lanta, but in the screen I'm gonna show you like the best location that you can stay, because it's gonna be close to everything. Let me show you in the screen right now. So when it comes to Koh Lanta, there are gonna be so many places that you can stay. I will personally speak that the best place that you can stay on is gonna be in Long Beach, just because it's gonna be close to everything. And not only that, it's gonna be close not only for the things to do, but also for the nightlife, in case that you want to go out eating like street food and all of those beautiful things that you can do in Koh Lanta. I personally stay in the Lanta Pearl Beach Resort, and I have to say that it was absolutely astonishing, and most importantly, cheap. Okay, so we got this room right here in Koh Lanta, and only for $30, pretty cool. And as you can see, we have the view to the pool right there. They have a couple of bars, and it's gonna get fun. It's kind of like little shacks that we're inside of it. Okay guys, so now that you know everything about flights, transportation, where to stay, now I feel like we're getting to the good part, which is gonna be the things to do. So right now we're gonna focus mainly in the things to do in Koh Lanta, and we're gonna talk a little bit more of the nightlife, places to go eat. So in Koh Lanta, there's gonna be, I would say, a decent amount of things to do, because everything is gonna be close by in case that you wanna go eat, in case that you wanna go for the nightlife. So let me refer to some of the tours that we actually made, and we actually save a lot of money, and the tours weren't that expensive. We paid for like a whole day tour for only like 1,200 baht, and I feel like that was pretty cheap. That's equivalent to like $30, like around $36, almost $40. So I think that was cheap, and I'm gonna talk to you about these different places. Okay, so what can you do in Koh Lanta the first day that you're gonna arrive there? And I have to say that the beach is gonna be one of those. The beach was clean, the water was beautiful, I have to say that it was really warm compared to waters here in New York. So I have to say that the experience overall was nice. So the first things you're gonna come the first day in here, I'm sure that it's gonna be hard for you to find tour agencies or anything like that. So I have to say that if you didn't have any reservation prior to coming here, which I doubt that you can do, you get a tour right away, just because by the time that you arrive here, in case that you came from Krabi Airport or you came from a different island, it's gonna be hard for you to just get a tour in general. So the first thing that you can do is just relax. Make sure you have your reservations for your next day in case that you want to have your tours and all of that. Make sure you do that with prior time. So if you're gonna arrive the first day, first of all, make sure you get your tickets for the next tour, which is gonna be the next day, and then just stay relaxing on the beach. Like I said, have a tan, sit down, lay, and now we're just gonna jump into the second day. So like I said before, we only paid, I remember I said like around like 1,200 baht just for this, which was equivalent to like 30 to 35 $5, and we went to the 4-island tour. So this 4-island tour was pretty good, and the reason why I like it a lot because we were able to see a lot of beautiful scenarios, landscapes, and all of that. But before that, I want to walk you through the things that they're gonna need you to do. Basically, you need to wake up first thing in the morning. They're gonna pick you up like around 7:30 in the morning, 7-8, and usually they're gonna come in boats. So that's gonna be a way of transportation that you're gonna go on. You need to be waiting in there. You need to give the ticket so you can show that you actually purchased the tour. And after that, they're gonna make sure that you're gonna sign some agreement with that, which is gonna basically be kind of like the liability part of that. And so they're gonna be securing that. And overall, I have to say that the staff and the people that we went to, it was really fun. We had a really good time, really good vibes in there. I can tell you that if you are like us, because we had this boat, which is common, is gonna be called the speed boat. It's definitely fast compared to other ways that you can go in there. So you're gonna have several ways of going. The faster way, which is going to be the small boats, but you're also going to have some bigger boats that you can rent in case that you want to go with a lot more people. I personally don't like that, so like I said, this is going to be one way that you can do it. And the first beach what they decided to visit was the Koh Phi. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure about it, but basically from here you can just lay down. This is even beautiful. I would say Koh Lanta and this beach is so beautiful. So basically the whole concept of the 4 islands is pretty much you visit different islands, and on those you're gonna have beach, of course. If this was your first day on the beach, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get so excited because it's beautiful. And also make sure to bring a lot of sunscreen lotion, because on the time that we went, I remember it was in April, it was really hot. And then we just stay a couple of minutes in the beach, and then we went to this next beach, which is called Koh Phi. It's really hard for me to spell it. I really like this one because you're gonna have different swings where you can take some pictures in there, and also you can have like different scenarios that you can take some astonishing photos from there. And overall, I have to say that these 2 beaches were really nice. And also in this specific beach, you're gonna be provided with some lunch, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can repeat as many times as you want. Now we're heading to the next place, and this one's kind of like a cave slash, but we cannot go in there. This is the Koh Mok Emerald Cave. So basically you can swim, you can do snorkeling around this area, and as well you can watch this beautiful scenario, kind of like a rock that you're gonna be able to see from all the way down. And obviously make sure to be safe with that, and they're gonna provide you with all this equipment, so there's no any additional purchase after that. Like I said, beautiful. You can see you can see some beautiful scenes from here, from the bottom of here, like the rock. I have to say that the camera doesn't even do justice to the things that you can see in there, as well as seeing the fish under you. There's gonna be so many things that you can do in here. It's just a time to relax with your family, have a good time. And then after this, we decided to head to the Koh Chuak. Like I said, I'm not really good with names, and this one is a little bit different from the previous beaches, and as well as the other cave that I should show you. The thing that you can do in here is basically they're gonna take you inside of a cave, literally, and it gets too dark that you can barely see it. So I would say that don't get scared. It's really fun. and make sure you don't kind of like derail yourself and try to just go your own, because I'm sure you're gonna get lost and probably most likely you're gonna get hit with the waves. So make sure to stay on track. And as soon as you get in here, this one is gonna be another beach, but what I really like about this one is a specific feature that you're gonna find in here. Besides the fact that it's gonna be packed, you're gonna find a lot of tourists. I would say that they come and go, so you're not gonna find the same tourists all the time. Probably they will stay there for like 10 minutes, so it's a really good opportunity that after they leave, as you can see right now, it's for you to take some pictures, to have some really good time. In this cave, you're gonna be able to see a heart from all the way from the bottom, and it's not even like a man-made type of thing. It was natural, built by nature. And I have to say that it was nice, and I really enjoyed being here. Luckily, it's kind of like hard to get some pictures in here and actually get the beauty of this scenario, but I hope that you get a good sense and a grasp of how this looks like. And then after we finish with that, we just decided to do a regular Thai massage. For the ones that don't know how much is gonna cost you, this is like around like $15 to $20 for 1 hour of massage. And I have to say that it didn't even feel like I was getting a massage. I almost fell asleep. And I would recommend you to do it here because you can have a really beautiful view to the beach, listening to the waves and all of that. A similar massage like this in New York is gonna cost you like around $100, $120. And now, once we finish with that, we just decided to just keep walking around, and then we just took a tuk-tuk to this place which is called the Lanta Plaza. So in this place, you're gonna find some souvenirs, some clothing, really cheap clothing. You're gonna have different supermarkets. Also, I found out that in here you can find the 7-Eleven as well. So I was really surprised about that. Oh, and one of the reasons why we picked Koh Lanta, because it's a little bit laid back. The time that we actually went, it was in a low season, so we went in March and April, so there weren't a lot of tourists. So you might be looking at this footage as like there is not like a lot of people to go there, but believe me, I was talking to a lot of locals and they told me that this place, it gets really packed. At the moment that we went, you probably don't see that many people, but you're gonna see a lot of people once it's gonna be a little bit of high season. So we went around like almost the second week of April, and I have to say that it was a really nice island that you should visit. Like I said, it depends if you want to go in high season. So in the first video, I also talk about what are going to be some of the seasons, like rainy seasons, cold seasons. So at the end of this video, I can't stress this enough. Make sure to watch that video because it's going to save you a lot of time, and most importantly, it's going to save you a lot of money. So now let's talk about the nightlife in Koh Lanta. The nightlife, since we went into like a low season, so you're not gonna see a lot of people, but I have to say that they have some really good themes in some of the places that I'm gonna mention it to you right now. Koh Lanta nightlife is chill and safe, and the best place that you can go is this called Irie. The reason why I'm recommending this place because they have some live bands in here and they play a lot of reggae as well. Inside of here you can have some margaritas, some drinks, like anything that you want to drink, and as well as some food. And also you're gonna find a souvenir store in case that you want to buy something for whenever you're going back home or anything like that. And around this area you're gonna find a bunch of bars, bunch of clubs that you can actually go and just go bar hopping. And what I really like about Koh Lanta is that you have some really nice party theme scenes like all over the place. And the next place that I'm gonna show you right now is actually stood out for me because it looked pretty cool, and this place is called the Chill Out House. I really enjoyed being here because it looked more kind of like tree house. You can have some drinks, you can actually lay down, they have some mattresses in there, so it looked very hippie. But I had to say that we really definitely had a really good time. We met some people along the way, we definitely had some shots and it was fun. Cheers! And after that, I mean, you can stay here. I'm sure you're gonna find a lot of fun once you start going here in the high season. But I would strongly recommend you that if you want to get the most out of the nightlife, you have to head out down to the beach. The beach is gonna have a bunch of bars that you can go out and you can experience a lot of the nightlife in there. Okay, nice. So right now let's talk about a little bit about the food in Koh Lanta. The food in Koh Lanta, I have to say that it was pretty good. The reason why I like the food in Koh Lanta is because You can actually get both sides in case that you want to eat next to the beach. There's gonna be a lot of places that you can eat next to the beach. You can actually just go around 6 p.m. and you can actually watch the sunset. Believe me, it gets so beautiful. The water is clean and the food is good. It's next to the beach. So I'm gonna show you some of the places that you can actually go there and eat something, because we went there and the food was pretty good. And the ocean seafood. So this place is more like Indian food, and although you're gonna be in Thailand, I know, by the time that we were there, we were already pretty tired of too much spicy. So the Indian food that they provided us here, it were not that spicy, so it was pretty good. And then you can, around the area, you're gonna find some street food as well, in case they want to try different things around the area. And this is street food around the restaurant I show you is pretty cheap. But now you have to try the food on the beach, because if you're in Koh Lanta and you're not eating next to the beach, I don't think you went to Koh Lanta. So make sure to do that, because it's gonna be a really great experience once you go there. And in this section, we're gonna talk about how much money should you bring to Koh Lanta and how many days should you stay there. I would personally recommend you to stay in Koh Lanta maybe like 2 to 3 days at the most, because in 2 to 3 days you're gonna be able to do most of the things that you have to do in Koh Lanta, in terms of tours, in terms of eating out, in terms of getting to know the culture, or actually just going around the streets and exploring a little bit more. So 3 days is gonna be enough. And how much money should you bring for this island? I would say, if you ask me personally, since we actually didn't hold back into what we were buying, like food, drinks, and everything, I have to say between $50 to $75 daily that you might be able to spend for like maybe 2 people. You might be able to do good in Koh Lanta with a solid $300, and I think that's gonna be a really good amount of money to actually get some really good meals, tours, like things to do in there that you're gonna be there, rent a scooter and move around. I feel like $300 is gonna be really good for you. Okay guys, so now that we talk about Koh Lanta, the next location that we went, it was to Koh Phi Phi. So how can you get transportation from Koh Lanta to Koh Phi Phi? So right there in the hotel that we stay, and the one that I mentioned to you, you're gonna be able to get a price, and they're actually gonna send you some tickets to take the ferry. Some of the tips that I can give you is try to book that ferry at least 24 hours in advance, because sometimes that's basically what you need to do in order to reserve your space in the boat, because when we went there we saw a lot of people, so make sure to do that. We paid around 400 per person, so 400 baht, which is equivalent to like I would say $15 per person to travel from Koh Lanta all the way to Koh Phi Phi. I'm sure there's gonna be some cheaper ways to do it, but I think like $15 is good. Basically what the service consisted of was that they were gonna pick us in the hotel at 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 or so, and they were gonna pick us up in there, and they were gonna drop us off on the ferry. So like around it was gonna be like around 20 to 30 minutes drive from there. So it included the pickup, the drop off, the ferry, and I think it was a pretty good price for like all the services that we pay for. I would say that one of the biggest tips that I can give you is try to not negotiate these prices with the ones that are offering you that in the hotel, because pretty much those are set price. And my question to you is, do you think $15 is a lot of money for like a 1 hour drive into ferry and car? And I think it's a pretty good price. So try to not negotiate with those prices. That would be my biggest tip. Personally, we never did it in here because the prices were pretty cheap, and we thought like, why would you want to save an extra $1 or 25 cents like negotiating? So that was just me personally speaking. So now that we went from Koh Lanta all the way to Koh Phi Phi, we left like around 7:30, like I told you. So we got there to Koh Phi Phi like around 10 a.m. in the morning, like 10, 11. And in this screen, I'm gonna show you one of the best places that you like, one of the best areas that you can actually stay in Koh Phi Phi. So you can actually save time going to different places, because we stayed in, I would say, not like a really good location, because we had to walk a lot. Like 10 minutes to actually get to the things to do in Koh Phi Phi. Make sure to take a look at this location. Okay guys, so let's talk about location. So if you're gonna come here, most likely you're gonna arrive here to the pier, and now it depends whatever you want to go in terms of like if you're gonna book your hotel or where do you want to stay. So personally we went and we stay around this area, like around here, and I have to say that it's a little bit far from all of this, although I thought the price was pretty good here and it was gonna be close to everything. I have to say that if you want to see like the nightlife, you want to see like all the things to do in terms of like getting a tour agency really close to your hotel room, I have to say that you got to stay around this area, like around here. I mean, it's not that far from where we're staying, but it definitely gets you closer to wherever you want to go. So if you stay around this area, it's gonna be much better, and you're gonna be able to find places for like $20-30, so it's not gonna be a problem in terms of finding something that's gonna be cheap. Okay, so make sure to take that in consideration whenever you're gonna come here to Phi Phi Island. Okay guys, so we are staying in Koh Phi Phi in this place right here, which I would say is pretty enjoyable. The only bad thing is that we had to walk through a lot of steps to actually get here. So this location is a little bit far away from the main Koh Phi Phi kind of like things to do in terms of stores center, but I would say nevertheless it was a good price. We paid around $85 for the total for like 2 nights. So we're gonna stay here on Friday, which is today, and then we're gonna leave on Sunday morning. We're gonna go to a different island, so it's pretty good. And right now we're gonna go outside, probably go eat something, and we're gonna book some tours. So okay guys, so once you get to the island, pretty much one of the first things that you're gonna need to do after you get into the island is you gotta pay some taxes. I think that those are going to be some like taxes of the island. I just consider that as an entrance fee to the island, so that was 40 baht for the entrance, which is like $1 or something. Like it wasn't that expensive, so you're gonna pay that entrance fee. And then once you get in there, you're gonna find a lot of people offering services in terms of if you want them to carry your bags to the hotel. It's completely up to you if you want to do that. So I personally didn't do it because I knew where we were going, because we were using Google Maps to actually get us to our location, and I felt like Google Maps was pretty accurate. So the location that we went, it was around like 10 minutes from the ferry all the way to our location. And getting lost, I would say, for going through different locations, I would say like our estimated time like 15 minutes. So it's gonna be completely up to you if you want to hire those services for other type people to carry your luggage to your desired destination. I personally think it's not worth it, because first of all, you're gonna run into the chance that they might want to charge you a lot more than you actually need to get charged. And I feel like just going through the hassle of that, like just thinking about that, is not even worth it. So I would say don't get it because it's not worth it. Okay, so once you get to the island in Koh Phi Phi, which is one of the most famous islands that you will see in TV, you can see a couple of places near Koh Phi Phi, which is the Mai Bay, which was featured on the movie The Beach. So it was pretty famous. So you're gonna see a lot of people in here. The nightlife is one of the main things why people come to this island, and also because it has some astonishing views from different landscapes, in case that you want to go to like different beaches, the monkey beaches. I'm gonna elaborate more in the things to do later, but basically this is gonna be some of the things that you're gonna be expecting at the beginning of your trip in Koh Phi Phi. So once you get off from the ferry and go walk into your hotel, you're gonna realize that you're gonna find a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants, a lot of places to go eat. So pretty much I would say that that's gonna be the best location. Like I showed you before, that's the best area to stay. I would recommend you to stay around this area and try to book the hotels in advance, because some of the times you're gonna find a lot of people. The time that we went, it was a low season, and you saw a lot of people. Imagine into a high season, so that gets a little bit wild in there. So make sure to book your hotels in advance. Okay guys, so now that you have everything done in terms of transportation, the things that you're gonna pay, some of the things that you need to be on the lookout for, right now let's talk about some of the things that you can do in Koh Phi Phi. By the time that you're gonna arrive to Koh Phi Phi, I'm sure it's gonna be late, like around 12 p.m., 1 p.m. So it's gonna be hard for you to just find things to do. The best thing that I can tell you is that just explore Koh Phi Phi, because you're gonna find a lot of things to do inside of Koh Phi Phi. Like just go to the beach and have a good time. Just enjoy these beautiful scenarios. And I have to say that this is beautiful. So right now we are here in the Phi Phi Islands, and as you can see, the beach and just staying in the pier of Phi Phi Island is actually astonishing. The view that you're gonna get from here is beautiful, beautiful. So check this out, like you saw. And the sun is brutal. There are gonna be so many different scenarios that you can go and just watch different landscapes, but at the end of the day you're only gonna see the beach and the mountains. But even though that's gonna be the main things that you see, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be astonishing and the landscapes are beautiful. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Just go around, explore, and get the most out of it. And by the time that we arrived there, it was around like Friday, so make sure to double check the times, because sometimes you're gonna have some pool parties and you want to enjoy it and get the most out of it. And the reason why I really recommend you this is because you're gonna find a lot of people, I would say mainly tourists from different locations around the world, but even though like you can listen to really good electro music once you go to those pool parties and just have a good time, watch the sunset. And that's something that you can do. We personally met some really good cool people around here and started just dancing, having a good time. And then after enjoying like 3 hours in the pool party, we decided to just go out and just be on the beach and just see the people interacting with each other, because you're gonna find a lot of locals just playing soccer, like playing different games on the beach. And then at the end, if you wanna get the best sunset of Koh Phi Phi, I'm gonna recommend you to go to this lookout point, which is called the viewpoint of Koh Phi Phi, and it's gonna be on the top, so you have to walk a lot in order to get there. I would say it's around like 20 minutes walk going up, but the view is totally worth it. From here you can see the main center of Koh Phi Phi, and you can see a bunch of mountains. And although we were really tired by the time we get there, it was totally worth it. I strongly recommend you to go like around before 6, because you're gonna see a bunch of people just sitting here, and it's gonna become hard just to take a picture, just because everyone wants to come here in golden hour. And we stay here in like around until nighttime, because it was chill, enjoyable, with a couple of drinks that we had in there. So have a good time and just enjoy the view. Now jumping into the second day that we stay in Koh Phi Phi, we decided to book a tour, and we booked the tour with this company which is called Neverland. I personally don't recommend it because they pretty much just over promise but under deliver. We were looking to book a company which was called the Pirate Boat, that I personally, when I saw them once we took the Neverland tour, we were like regretting not taking that one. When I talked to the guy, he said that, oh, this is actually better than the Pirate Boat tour. And I have to say that it was nice, but I think the things that we did compared to the things that we saw that the other company did on the next boat, I think it was much better. So I don't recommend you to come here, even though they were cool, nice people. One of the first stops that we actually did was on the Monkey Beach. So if you're gonna book the tour, which is basically a complete day tour, that's gonna be one of the first stops. And the Monkey Beach is pretty good. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. I watching all these monkeys out of the water, and the scenarios that you're gonna get before you get to see the monkeys is pretty beautiful. I have to say that you have to be careful in here, because you're gonna see a lot of boats in there, and usually it's hard for them to stop, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. Once you're gonna be there, you're gonna see what I mean. And once you go inside, you're gonna be a bunch of monkeys. You're gonna see some beautiful, kind of like a mini jungle scenario on the beach, and you're gonna see a lot of them. My biggest tip is that don't touch the monkeys, because I was in the hospital when I went to Koh Phi Phi, because I had an infection or something like that on my hands, so I had to go to the hospital. So make sure to don't touch the monkeys. One of the biggest tips that the doctor told us, or one of the biggest reasons why tourists go to the hospital, is because they touch the monkeys, so they get bitten by the monkeys and somehow they acquire some contagious disease, so they need to get vaccinated once they do that. Make sure to not feed the monkeys, because according to what our tour guide told us is that once you start feeding the monkeys, they're gonna get used to just getting free food, so they don't get the food by themselves, and that causes a disruption on the environment, especially for these monkeys, because they can just easily die, because now you get used to just humans giving them food. So make sure to don't feed the monkeys. And after this monkey beach, we decided to just jump in the boat, and then we headed to this Viking cave. And in the Viking cave, I had to say that the story was really interesting, because inside of this cave you're gonna find like Thai people that are only gonna be residing here. Nobody's gonna be allowed to go inside, and if you do try to go inside, they say that they might shoot you. I don't know how true is that, but just make sure you don't do that. Then we decided to head to this kind of like lagoon lake. Obviously it was a beach, but it was near the My Bay beach, and I had to say that I had a good time and the views were spectacular. And right now we just paid a guy on the boat next to us, and he just charges around 200 baht. 200 baht for like 1 hour of using this kayak, and it's pretty cool because now we can just go around, visit all these beautiful places you can see right there. And one of the main reasons why I was saying to not book with Neverland, I think was the name of the company, is because you need to rent these boats. With the other company, they actually provide you with this already, and we had to go kind of like to a next boat to actually just buy or rent this kayak in order to go inside of this beautiful place. So that's if you want to do that. Okay, so there's gonna be different ways that you can come to this area. Like the one way is gonna be the one that we took, which is this big boat. Or if you want to have more like an enjoyable experience due to the size of the boat, those over there, as you can see, are gonna be the best ones to come in here, because they're gonna be able to go all the way inside. And it was definitely a good time. So like I said, if you want to be able to go inside of this beautiful beach, you need to rent a kayak, or you can have a speedboat that's going to be very small so that they can go inside. But in the boat that we booked the tour, they couldn't go in, so we had to, you can actually go swimming or you can rent a kayak. So now we decided after this to get to the Maya Bay beach, and although this beach is closed, it's spectacular the view that you can get from here. Some of the reasons why they say it's closed is because some sharks I actually started to come in there, so it was not secure for the tourists to actually swim in there. So there's gonna be other reasons why that I cannot remember from the top of my head, but make sure to just watch the beautiful sunset that you can get from there. And I have to say, it was an amazing time in Koh Phi Phi. Okay guys, so now that you know about the things to do in Koh Phi Phi, let's talk a little bit more about the nightlife in this particular place. And I have to say that the nightlife in here, it gets pretty wild. So you can see different things in terms of like people playing with fireworks, a lot of like painting to your face. Like there's gonna be so many things that you can do in the nightlife, and I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more into this because there's gonna be particular places that I will strongly recommend you to visit, and let's dive into it. I only have one word for the nightlife in Koh Phi Phi, and that's wild. There's going to be a lot of things to do, and the first thing that you have to do is just explore the streets. There's going to be some really fun activities that you can do. If you want to go out, you want to have some drinks, you can go out with your friends, just sit down, have drinks on the street. And that's the thing, you can actually drink on the streets. And also I found it interesting, like they actually sell these drinks in buckets, so in case you want to buy it, 500 baht, 350 baht, depending on how much do you want to drink. So it's completely up to you. And once you start exploring there, I would say the second place that you can go is going to be just to the beach, and the name of the beach that you have to go is going to be Low Dalun Beach, which is going to be inside of Koh Phi Phi. And I have to say that you're gonna see a lot of people partying, dancing, so it was really fun. And now around the beach, you're gonna be able to find this place which is called this Linky Bar. And one of the things that you can do is just get your face painted for only $2, which is gonna be like 60 baht. And I was amazed because in these specific clubs, discos, nightclubs, however you want to call them, they were playing a lot of Latin music. So you'll be expecting that, as well as some house or electronic music. So it was pretty fun. It gets really wild, and I have to say that if you're not used to loud music, my biggest tip is just try to bring with you some earbuds. Other than that, it was amazing. And also they're gonna have some shows around the beach as well. Like around this Linky Bar, you're gonna find all these performances, and they're gonna be doing this pretty much every day of the week. So if you're gonna go there, you can see this performance in the week or on the weekend, depending whenever you're gonna go here. And the performances, I would say, are safe, somehow dangerous at the same time, because you're gonna be really close to the fire. But these guys been doing this for like years, so they're pretty much an expert at what they do, and just enjoy it. You're gonna have a great time. Okay, since the location that you're gonna be seeing the performances are gonna be pretty much in the beach, so chances are that the water are gonna get in your feet. You have to wear some flip-flops because the water is gonna get into your shoes once you're gonna be next to the beach. And from there you can go to this bar, which is called the Stockholm, it was pretty good. Like they have some different games that you can play inside of there, like beer pong. And I would say if you're gonna come here, try to bring your friends and family, because most of the people in here are pretty much gonna come with your friends. And one of the bars that stood out to me is called the Reggae Bar, and in order to get in here you actually need to buy a drink. There's not gonna be an entrance fee, however you must buy a drink before you get into the bar. And the reason why I really like this bar is because pretty much you actually get a chance to watch Muay Thai. And one of the things that really stood out for me is that they actually get people from the audience to just do some Muay Thai. And something that was really interesting, the way that they actually get these people in the ring, is pretty much they just give kind of like a reward, just for getting in the ring, like a bucket, some type of drinks that they're gonna get for free. But I think they do it just because they like it, and the environment is pretty good, chill. I think I really had some really good fun. So it's a combination between kind of like a club and also some entertainment, because you're gonna have drinks, you can stay outside of the ring and just watch them. And from time to time you're gonna be able to find some professional Muay Thai boxers. And I have to say that it was one of the highlights of going to Thailand. It was definitely a must to do in Koh Phi Phi. And now let's talk about the food and where can you go eat, and so you can actually get some really good places that we went, and let me show you right now. And starting with the number one in the list is going to be the Garlic 1992 restaurant. This restaurant stood out to me just because of the way it looks. The decoration is kind of like very old school. They have the menus on the walls, and the food was pretty good. The only thing that they serve the food in really small portions, so you have to watch out for that. Or you can actually just go in the street, because the street is going to have a big variety of food, sweets. You're going to have different type of foods, not only Thai food but actually Indian food, among different choices that you can choose from there. And the next one on the list is going to be the Clover House PP. The reason why I like this is because they serve some really good seafood, and then you can also find some really good spots around the beach, which is going to be one of the ones that really stood out to me, is the Tosai seafood. And the reason why I like this so much is because they actually serve you, it's going to be a buffet actually for only like 300 baht, and it's all you can eat. So if you actually come here to Thailand, you gotta know that the portions are gonna be small. So the fact that we have a buffet for only $250 is amazing. Okay guys, so we're getting almost to the end of this section, and right now we're going to talk about how much money should you bring to this island and how many days should you stay. So I feel like Koh Phi Phi is somehow a little bit more, it has a lot of nightlife. You're gonna find a lot of tourists in there. So compared to Koh Lanta is more laid back, and Koh Phi Phi is more into like the crazy nightlife. So I will strongly recommend you to stay here between 3 to 4 days. I would say that if you want to go there, try to go there between Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because you're gonna get the most out of Koh Phi Phi. Not only into the nightlife, as well as like the tours in the morning that you can do, the things to do as well. So I would say 3 to 4 days is gonna be a really good time to go there. I would say, how much are you gonna be spending in Koh Phi Phi? Since it's gonna be a lot of demand in this island, the prices are gonna be a bit higher than in Koh Lanta and any other locations in Thailand, because there is a lot of demand to it. So you're gonna see a lot of tourists in there as well. So I would say spending between like $100 daily. If you sum the total 4 nights for that, I would say you're gonna spend like around $400, and that's if you want to go all out. If you want to go drinking, if you want to go to the parties, you want to get to the tours, food. So all of that is going to include into like $100 daily into a budget, in case you want to buy souvenirs as well. So make sure to take that in consideration. We were actually planning to do a lot of like island hopping, because we saw a lot of videos on YouTube that were talking about, okay, things to do here, things to go there. Like they went to different islands in Thailand, like Koh Phi, like Phuket. There's gonna be so many islands that you can go, but you need to ask this to yourself: how many days are you planning to go to the islands? If the answer is gonna be like a week, I feel like island hopping is not gonna be the best choice for you, because you're not gonna get the most out of your vacation, because most of the time you're gonna be traveling from one location to another location, so you're gonna waste a big amount of time just traveling around. So I would personally, the other thing that I would say is that we were talking to a lot of tourists because we wanted to get more information about Phuket and Koh Phi, because we were thinking to go to either or, and they were mentioning that the islands are pretty much similar, so they look the same. And I can tell you by my personal experience that after being like because we were there for like 5 days, and I have to say that after 5-6 days it gets pretty repetitive, because if you're gonna go to a tour agency, you want to experience different islands, you want to go to the beaches, like, yes, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna go to Koh Lanta, Koh Phi Phi, then Phuket, then you're gonna go to Koh Phi, and I feel like you're gonna get bored. I personally, I don't say that I got bored, but it felt like pretty repetitive. So instead of getting just the side beach of Thailand, we actually wanted to get more of the culture. So we decided to, just after 5 days of being on the islands, we left to Chiang Mai. And like I said, it all depends on what you're trying to do. We only had 2 weeks to explore Thailand, and if you have like a month and you want to spend like, if you want to do island hopping, it's going to be completely up to you. I just got to say, in my personal experience and based on what I asked to other people, they told me that the islands are pretty much the same. So it's completely up to you. And okay guys, so this is going to be everything for the video, and keep in mind that in the next video, I'm going to talk about the other location that we went. I'm going to be talking everything about Chiang Mai. And I have to say that in my personal opinion, that I really like Chiang Mai. So I would strongly recommend you to visit, and I strongly recommend you to check the video in there, because there's going to be a lot of tips, a lot of experiences that I have to share with you, because we stayed there for like around almost 5-6 days just in Chiang Mai, and I have to say that there is going to be a lot of things to do. You're going to experience the full culture of Thailand all the way over there. It has a healthy mixture between temples, waterfalls, things to do, elephants, like the nightlife is, I have to say that it was pretty nice. So I encourage you to watch it. So I'm gonna leave the links in the description so you can check them out. So make sure to check them out, because I promise you that by you watching the video, it's gonna be well worth it of your time. So, and I have to say that if you like these videos, the travel guides that I've been making, so make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I'm all about helping other travelers save time and money. So if that's something that you want, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And without further ado, I just want to say thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, peace.